Right, our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is back with us. We've talked about a significant outgoing at Liverpool throughout the course of the day, with that fee agreed for Trent Alexander-Arnold to go early to Real Madrid. What about a potential huge incoming for the Premier League champions?
Well, it's the most expensive free transfer of all time. I thought I'd seen it all in the transfer market. I've never seen anything like this before. Real Madrid are going to pay Liverpool up to £10 million just to get Trent Alexander-Arnold 29 days early. Remember, they can wait until the end of June and get him for nothing, but they want him to play in the Club World Cup, which starts on June the 15th. They want him to play in that so much that they've agreed to pay Liverpool 10 million euros.
In a move that could reshape the dynamics of the summer transfer window, reports have surfaced suggesting Real Madrid is prepared to pay Liverpool £10 million to secure the early release of right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold 29 days ahead of his agreed-upon availability. This unusual request is turning heads across Europe. According to multiple insiders, the Spanish giants have already agreed on a deal in principle with Alexander-Arnold, whose current contract with Liverpool is nearing its end. The arrangement sees the England international joining Madrid at the end of his contract, but Los Blancos are eager to accelerate the process. Real Madrid's urgency is rooted in timing. With pre-season preparations fast approaching and a congested fixture calendar ahead, manager Carlo Ancelotti is said to want Alexander-Arnold integrated into the squad as early as possible to begin adapting to his new surroundings and style of play. The £10 million offered to Liverpool is effectively a buyout of the remaining 29 days of Alexander-Arnold's contract. While this seems like a substantial amount for such a short period, Madrid's management views it as a long-term investment in success. For Liverpool, the proposal poses a dilemma. On one hand, they are losing one of their cornerstone players earlier than expected. On the other hand, £10 million for just under a month of service from a departing player could be too tempting to refuse. Sources close to Liverpool indicate that Jurgen Klopp's successor is involved in evaluating the offer. With pre-season plans being finalized, the club must consider whether Alexander-Arnold's early departure will significantly affect their preparation. From Alexander-Arnold's perspective, an early move would allow him to avoid a potentially awkward farewell period and begin a new chapter in Spain with a clean slate. Such transitions are rarely smooth, and this timing might actually be preferable for the player emotionally and professionally. Real Madrid has been dealing with right-back issues since the decline and eventual departure of Dani Carvajal. While other options like Lucas Vázquez and Nacho have filled in, the team lacks a long-term solution in the role, something Alexander-Arnold is expected to provide. Alexander-Arnold's attacking prowess from the right flank is well documented. Known for his pinpoint crosses, exceptional passing range, and set-piece ability, he brings a creative edge that Madrid values highly, especially with their attacking rebuild underway. The urgency also stems from the club's desire to integrate new signings quickly. With other stars like Jude Bellingham and Endrick also joining, Madrid is constructing the next generation of Galacticos and wants their chemistry to begin forming early. Analysts believe this move could mark a shift in how big clubs handle pre-contract agreements. Instead of waiting for free transfers, teams may start paying premiums to gain players just a few weeks earlier if it means securing strategic advantages. Financially, Real Madrid is in a position to absorb such costs. Having managed their wage bill and income streams prudently, the club can afford to make tactical investments like this without disrupting their broader budget. However, critics argue that paying £10 million for 29 days sets a dangerous precedent. It could incentivize clubs to hold players hostage in similar situations, knowing they might extract short-term payouts from desperate suitors. Liverpool fans are understandably emotional about the situation. While many understand Alexander-Arnold's ambition and appreciate his years of service, the idea of him leaving even a day early adds sting to an already painful goodbye. The question also looms over what Liverpool will do with the £10 million if they accept it. Will they reinvest it immediately in a replacement or bolster another position, or will it simply go into long-term financial planning? Another angle to consider is England's national team. If Alexander-Arnold is set to feature heavily in the European Championship or other international tournaments this summer, the timing of his move could influence his fitness and form. Real Madrid, for their part, seem determined to show intent this summer. Signing a marquee name like Alexander-Arnold early and paying extra to do so signals their ambition not just to win domestically, but also to dominate in Europe once again. Behind the scenes, both clubs are said to be in active discussions. Negotiations revolve around logistics, player insurance, and potential performance clauses, all of which are being scrutinized carefully. Former players and pundits have weighed in on the move. Gary Neville described it as one of the most interesting tactical plays I've seen in years, while Jamie Carragher, a former Liverpool teammate of Alexander-Arnold, acknowledged the emotional weight such a move carries. For Trent himself, this is the culmination of a journey that began in Liverpool's youth academy. Moving to Madrid represents a leap into a new cultural and footballing world, one where the expectations are sky high. The success of this early transfer will hinge on how quickly Alexander-Arnold adapts to La Liga, the demands of Ancelotti, and the expectations of Madrid fans who have grown accustomed to excellence. If the deal goes through, Alexander-Arnold could debut in the famous white kit as early as July, potentially in a high-profile friendly or training camp scrimmage. That head start might give him a crucial edge in cementing his place in the starting 11. For Liverpool, it may be the start of a major rebuild. With other veterans potentially exiting, the club is entering a transitional phase, and tough decisions like this may become more common. Whether this deal becomes a blueprint for future transfers or remains an outlier remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the football world will be watching closely. Ultimately, this proposed early transfer is about more than just 29 days. It's about planning, identity, and ambition. For Real Madrid, it could be a masterstroke. For Liverpool, it's a bittersweet business decision. And for Alexander-Arnold, it's the next step in a storied career.